I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Education is a key to success. Everyone deserves a proper access to it. However, not all of people have a great access for a proper education. Some of them might just working after graduated on high school because of some reasons. We can say that bachelor's degree is now being the standard we need to get a proper job in order to live in. But what about those who needs to work after graduated from high school because of their personal reasons that we cannot talk one about, or maybe they are facing another barriers that hindering them for taking tertiary education? Let's make this motion clear. If tertiary education is permanently moved into online session, it means that we can still learn things online and still got the degree in such a flexible way. It offers an inclusive solution, which I strongly agree about. Why can I say so? Here are 2 reasons why. Firstly, it will lead to proper access of education with a flexible management. So, this policy will make the students easier to learn a new lessons, adjusting with their needs and their time availability. And not only talking about the students, but it will be easier for the lecturer too, because they can provide what student needs and also adjusting the time so the learning process can go effectively. So they both have some kind of mutuals because they provided what each other needs. And let's say that many students should work after graduated after high school because of their economical problem, lack of money, and maybe they were already hired by several companies just because they have more ability to do. It means that they cannot go to the college building just the same time like someone who didn't have a job. And because the lecture will be carried online, the time management will be more way easier because they can adjust where will the lessons take place, and it will be flexible for both the student and the lecturer. Especially it will be easier for the student who is taking the tertiary education while also working with their jobs. So yeah, maybe they can take tertiary education or take the lecture while the working session is over or before the job started. And for someone who have not got a job yet or still didn't have a job, they can do the other useful things and improving skills they have so that they will be fully prepared for work fields. Secondly, it will expanding opportunities without barriers. Let me ask you several questions. Didn't college building need a proper location to build? Would it take our time for us to go to the building? And if we go to the college, which is out of our cities or even out of our countries, we should need a place to rent or a place to stay in order to live. Am I right? Yes. Traditionally, students must live near the college that they want to go in or relocate something not possible. I mean, to relocate. And relocate is not something possible for everyone, right? Due to economical problem maybe, or family obligations, or even visa restrictions. Imagine when we can take a tertiary education through online. If we want to go to a university who is out of our country or labeled as the best university in the world, for example, I want to go there and I know I have a chance to go there, but my parents didn't allow me to go there because maybe they have an obligations in this country and they need to work or stay in this country. And why can't I go by myself? For some parents, there are some strict parents that didn't allow their kids to go out of country or even out of cities alone just because they are afraid of their kids being alone in a stray place that they didn't know before. Especially when it comes to education. Education is a very important thing to take as a human. So we should have a lot of protection to do an education process. But if this education process is being held online, we can be easier to access all of that education because we can still work hard to get our dream college without worrying a distance between us and our college building. So I can still get that college that is located on overseas out of my country without worrying a distance because I can do the lecture online and it can take place everywhere. And this opens the door to global level education for people who were not supported to get the high level of education or for who were previously excluded, and it creates a more equal system where potential is not limited by geography. So we can still access an education process that we can't before because of distance that is becoming a barrier for us to access that kind of education. And at the end, permanently moving the tertiary education learning process into an online process is a best decision for this generation because it will support everyone to get a proper education access eventually. Because it will lead us to a proper access of education with a flexible management, including a time management, place management, and the other things to do. So it wouldn't be a barrier for us. And we can still do another things to live in, but we can also get the educational process that is the basic needs to have as a human. And it will support everyone to expanding the opportunities without barriers, especially when we talk about the distance. And so, for the conclusion, permanently moving the tertiary education learning process online is a best decision for this generation because it will support everyone to get a proper education access eventually, and it will enhance our ability of and it will enhance our ability to manage our life properly. And by that, I am proudly propose this motion. Thank you.